My name is Sofia Lundmark, and I'm a senior lecturer in media technology at Södertörn University in Sweden. And I have written this paper together with my colleague Martin Jonsson, also from Södertörn University. We are presenting the paper Becoming a Designer at the Design Lab, Empowerment and Participation in Children's Design Activities. The paper draws on a study that is centered around an organization and a physical space called Design Lab S. Design Lab S is a publicly founded organization that engages children between the ages 9 to 13 years old in design activities together with professional designers and artists. The S in the name stands for Skärholmen, which is a suburb of Stockholm where the lab is situated. Skärholmen is a socioeconomically vulnerable area, struggling with issues related to unemployment and integration. The study of the Design Lab was performed in 2018 and 2019, just when it became clear that the lab had lost its founding and that the lab had to shut down. The study is based on interviews with 5 children, observations of a few design activities and meetings at the Design Lab, and also analysis of online materials and online forums related to the lab. The interviews with the children focused to a large extent on what the Design Lab had meant for them in their daily lives and how they perceived and valued the activities in the lab. From the interviews, in combination with observation and analysis of online materials, we identified a number of factors related to how the lab was organized that we believe have had a particular impact on the participating children. These empowering functions are the creative laboratory, community participation, and playful apprenticeship. We will now go through these one by one.
The first empowering function we want to highlight, we call the creative laboratory. Here we want to highlight how the framing of a lab or a laboratory fostered an open atmosphere, allowing for exploration, not only in design activities, but also of new identities and ways of being different, thus filling an important role in the children's personal development. The second empowering function concerns community participation. The Design Lab had a strong connection to the Skärholmen suburb through its name, its location in the center of the suburb, and most importantly, through the design activities, which were often aimed at discussing, problematizing, or improving aspects of the life in this particular suburb. The design activities thus allowed the children to challenge both themselves as well as their surroundings to form new understandings of, for example, what it means to be a child in the suburb. The third empowering function we call playful apprenticeship and concerns the relationship between the children and the professional designer staff in the lab. At the Design Lab, the notion of colleagues is important, both in the Design Lab's official communication as well as in the accounts from the participating children. The children highlight that they are all equals that are involved in the design inquiry on equal terms. This peer culture differs from typical master-apprentice relationships, as the teacher or facilitator guidance is integrated in playful explorations with recurrent dialogues that encourage self-reflection.
As demonstrated in the study, the children's participation in the design activities at the Design Lab provides different means for an increased influence over their own situation. The design activities can be seen as resources for the children's identity formation, as well as for actually being changing and affecting their own situation and their local environment. The study also shows that empowerment through design does not only mean that the design activities serve as a scaffolding to support useful subject matters, but that the creative explorations may be empowering in themselves. By, for example, providing means for experimentations with personal expressions and developing a designer identity. Thank you so much for listening to us.